Well, we're now joined by the Police Minister, Cele, for a response. As you heard there, my colleague Criselda Lewis saying that they had sent questions to the Police Ministry before that report was filed and said that they'd not received any response. Well, thanks to you, Minister, for taking the time. We really do appreciate it. Just listening to that, I wonder what is your reaction?
Thanks. Good evening, Tsepiso, in the listenership. Let's correct this. Questions were not sent to the ministry, were sent to the office of the spokesperson of the commissioner, if we can just make that distinction. So the ministry is responding and for the first time being brought in this matter. Indeed, listening to the South Africans, which has been out there complaining about the delay of DNA, which makes cases to be delayed, some withdrawn from the court rolls, has been really a bad thing. Hence, the police had to do everything, try to turn the situation. On the 17th of March, Tsepiso, we were on the portfolio committee. We put the plan, as the one member of portfolio committee said, we put the plan as the police to say, comes the 6th, we had two major issues here. It was the traceability of those ready samples of DNA because of the contract conflict between the police and the company that was there, which we threw and then left the police on the ledge. Secondly, it was the new samples deposited there to be done. That is 173,000 then, and then is 10 million that have been done, but they can't be traced. Both has been corrected. The system did come on live on the 6th of April. That system is functioning very well at the present moment.
So just to interrupt you, and I understand, Minister, you say both have been corrected. Are you saying that a backlog no longer exists? Is that what you're saying?
It exists. That is corrected. We need to work on that backlog. Maybe the first one, those that are ready, that are there, we were able to trace them. In the last 3 weeks, we have traced 26,400 of them, which is an improvement because we used to trace 1,000 a week. We're tracing about 7,000 to 8,000 a week. That system has been put by Cele, which is a government system, in a much cheaper way. The second one.
I want to understand where you put the blame squarely for the situation that we're in now, because you at some point said to the Portfolio Committee that COVID-19 is responsible for the challenges that you're facing, but some of these go as far back as 2019, where the lack or the shortage of consumables was said to be the problem. So what exactly is leading to this number of backlogs? But 173,000 does seem like quite a large amount.
Yes, I'll come back where to put the blame. 173. Now the money has been found from Treasurer. The kits, consumables of kits that deal with DNA have been bought. We have started to trace this since the 17th of April. That's why we have managed to get one person from Egruleni last week that has been linked with 60 rapes because of the new capabilities of the DNA that we have put there. Yes, the backlog is going to be with us for I don't think for a year, between 4 and 6 months, I think we'll be able to do the backlog. But how it came about, it can't be a complete truth that is because of the COVID-19. Somebody slept on the job, especially on the supply chain management. Tsepiso, from our side as a ministry, let's accept that. That's why we have changed the management of the supply chain management and took those people out of that system, took those people out of that environment, so that environment can begin to function properly, as we believe now that we're on course to correct the situation.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, Minister, that some of these are systemic problems, especially to do with supply chain management systems and processes, because some of the pressure groups are saying, how can this situation be allowed to continue? You yourselves were very angry about the rising scourge of gender-based violence, not only during the lockdown period, but the fact that it continues to rise. So could some of these things not have been dealt with earlier? And who should be held accountable for the fact that victims, as you heard them say, that they are traumatized by these delays?
Yes, as I've said, we are considering that our supply chain management should have done better in two ways. They should have dealt better with the contracts that are there. For the very fact that the contracts have to expire before they are negotiated, and the companies clash with the police and they leave us in the ledge and we can't work is an issue. For the fact that we did not buy things that we were supposed to buy, let me tell you, the money was put there, 215 million for the supply chain and the laboratories to buy these consumables, and they did not. It is on that score. It is on the score, Tsepiso, that management had to be changed. There should be sweeping. There is a new management there. And with all shenanigans that have been in supply chain management, I can tell you the story that many of those people are in court, as you were saying, and there is a lot of internal disciplinary committees, disciplinary measures going forward, and those heads must roll. But I'm glad to say we have reached a turnaround, and the situation, as we speak, is moving forward.
If you say heads must roll, would that also include the evidence tracking system? Because I believe that the entire National Forensic Laboratory system has not been reinstituted due to an impasse between police and the forensic data and analysts.
That's the one that has been corrected by Cele, Sepiso.
Okay.
That one is the one that I say there was that disconnection. They disconnected. The Cele has worked with the police. They've put that one. We have improved from moving, because we have been doing it manually, 1,000 a week. Now we're doing about between 7,000 and 8,000 a week. That tracking and checking has been improved. It will be easy we are working with the NPA to prioritize those that are supposed to be traced and checked, and those that are supposed to be put in laboratory, especially the med.
Just finally, what would you say to those victims? I believe that up to 60 to 70% of the backlog rape cases account for this number. And some of these people have then gone on to victimize others, and just the lack of closure. What are you going to say to those people out there who are watching you, listening to you, saying, yes, you say you're taking action, but all of this is academic for me right now?
Well, it could be academic for you, but that apology would unreservedly come that police, the section that was supposed to do that, they should have done that. But it is corrected indeed. Most of those people will be found. Yes, there is a delay. These criminals are out there with the very same victims, but we have put these things and measurements. For instance, we have employed and put more people, Tsepiso, on the roll in terms of doing more, almost 24 hours, so that we move fast to trace those that are there, and to do those that are supposed to be put in laboratories. We will be working extra time. We will be over time. We have put more than 100 people to work 24 hours to correct the situation.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us, Minister. Police Minister Cele, on that report by my colleague Crisaldo Lewis, where she interviewed the families of rape survivors who say the DNA test kit backlogs are prolonging their agony and preventing them from finding closure. Well, the minister says they are on it. In fact, they've taken action and heads are going to roll.